the book of Alpha running, man, homie. Read it or weep.
So, when you think about having a woman in your life, you have to ask yourself, what is the purpose that you need to have a woman in your life for? Because I can tell you right now, if all you want from a woman is sex, that one thing is not worth all the particular nuances that you're going to have to deal with when you have a woman around you on a daily basis. You could get sex without a relationship because women want sex without a relationship. Let's take a deep dive on this one. But first, let's elevate to a higher plane. Prepare for takeoff. Now, when it all boils down, you have to keep in mind this one thing. Women don't want to be in a relationship that's just based on sex until they hit the wall. A young woman, a quality woman, does not want to be in a relationship that's strictly based on sex. Yes, she will have a sexual interaction with you. She will have a situation with you that's just based on sex. That's why they come up with terms like friends with benefits. She doesn't want you to be under the illusion that she's going to be in a relationship with you, a full-blown relationship with you, when all you offer is sex. So when I hear guys say, man, she'll take care of Chad who ain't got nothing, and come on, man, that is so rare, bro. It is rare that you see a woman who has paper taking care of some dude who ain't got nothing going on and ain't doing nothing just because he look a certain way or just because he's sexing her down. If she does, then she's an unattractive woman in the first place. But even an unattractive woman who has paper can get an attractive man who is trying to build something, because most men believe that they can build with a woman. If all you're looking for is sexual pleasure, you should not give of yourself more than sex is worth. And I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. If we're having sex, she's enjoying it just as much as I am. You understand what I'm saying? I heard AMS make a great point. When we're having sex, she's enjoying the intimacy, I'm enjoying the friction. The friction is my only part that I'm enjoying. The intimacy is for her. You use the intimacy to get her aroused enough where you can really enjoy the friction. You see what I'm saying? Our addiction is to the friction. Her mindset is 100% focused on the intimacy. And yes, she'll take the pleasure that comes when it comes. But she certainly, absolutely wants that intimacy. That's why she wants to cuddle. That's why she wants to Netflix and chill first. That's why she wants to walk in the park holding hands. That's why she wants to lay on your chest afterwards. That's why she wants you to spoon her afterwards. That's why all of these things take place, because the intimacy is the most amazing part to the woman. You can't even get a woman off sexually if you don't add some intimacy to it, unless she's just in a state of complete horniness. That's a totally different thing. But what I'm saying to you, men, is if you're just trying to get sex, what in the world is the purpose for you to sit and say, well, I just better make sure that I give this woman a complete relationship. I better put a ring on it. I better marry this woman. We better cohabitate. We better do all of these things just because I want some sex. Because I'm going to tell you what happens. The majority of men do not have the intestinal fortitude or the emotional wherewithal to feed a woman those dreams and then completely back out of them. That's why so many men are in relationships or in marriages that they cheat on the women, because they allowed themselves to be in a situation that they weren't ready for. They weren't prepared for it. And there are men today still forcing themselves to be in those situations, even though deep down inside they know they don't want to be in those situations. The majority of men in relationships don't want to be in monogamous relationships. They have all type of physical ailments going on with a man. Brother got a migraine headache for 2 days, man. He think it's something he ate or think he working too hard. Nah, bro, it's cause you stressing out by being in a situation that you really don't want to be in. Especially if you got your paper together. If you got your paper together, man, then actually that's all I'm talking to. You understand? If I make a paper talking about a man who ain't got his paper together, who ain't on his mission, ain't on his purpose, ain't on his grind, then I'll specifically specify that. In any other time, just assume, correctly I might add, that I'm speaking to men who have their things together. When you created a great environment for yourself, a wonderful life for yourself, and you invite a woman in to enjoy that life, everything she experiences is based on your dollar, your work ethic, your grind, your dreams, your visions, your goals. And all you're getting is sex. There are other things that a woman can do, but I'll be perfectly honest with you. Any man who was a bachelor and was getting to the money and doing his thing, I promise you, a woman cooking for him is not enough for him to say, well, it was a good trade-off, man. I got this woman here, man. She cooked for me. But no. She cooked for you. She cleaned for you. She does all of those things. But I ask you this. When you think about yourself as a bachelor, how big are you going to go as far as your living space? How far are you going to go as far as how many cars you have? A lot of the space, a lot of the expense comes into your life once you enter a relationship. So even if she's doing all of that, I feel like if you put a woman in a mansion, the least she can do is clean it up. If you give a woman this big, pretty gourmet kitchen, a Viking kitchen, the least she can do is make sure that your meals are prepared and that you eat like a king. If you're going to buy a woman a vehicle and give her a great life and give her anything she asks for or anything she needs, not anything she asks for, don't do that. You start crossing into the beta male simp mangina space then. If you're going to give a woman everything she needs, of course she should take care of your chores. Of course she should make runs for you. She should make herself available to you 24/7 and do whatever you need her to do. See, men provide the platform for women to be great and then turn around and say, well, I appreciate her for being great. Take half of that appreciation away, at least, and give it to yourself for giving her a platform to be great. A woman can't be great if you got to make her get up and go to work every day for somebody else. She can't be great. A woman can't be great if she has her own space to maintain as well. That's why a bachelor who has his own space, he has to deal with multiple women to even get the treatment that a man gets if he's in a relationship. So it's a thin line between deciding what you want and what you're willing to compromise. For me, I don't see it as a thing where I need to just have one woman to do all of those things for me. Because my major issue is having a woman around me all the time. I don't want a woman around me all the time, every day. There's nothing she has that I need every day. You know what I'm saying? Not company, not sex, cuddling. I don't need none of that every day. So my thing is, why are so many men thrusting themselves into those scenarios when they as well feel like they don't need those things every day? If you don't need those things every day, why are you accepting them every day? Why are you acting like a woman's presence is necessary every day? Now, there are some scenarios where a woman has so much value where every single thing that goes on in the scenario, she plays a part in it. That's totally different, but that's rare. The majority of men don't have that. If your woman getting up going to work every day, unless you need her money, which is a totally different video, we're not going to get into needing her money on this particular video. But if you need her money, then yes, her going to work is a wonderful thing. But if you don't need her money, her going to work, although it's getting her out of your hair for 8 to 10 hours a day, it's also exposing her to the influence of the world from 8 to 10 hours a day. The majority of the problem that a man has when he's not in a position to pay the cost to be the boss is that his woman is exposed to the world and the influences of the world more than he would like her to, because she needs to go out and make money, because he doesn't have a platform for her to make money in. You got to have a platform for your woman to make money in. At the very least, you got to be able to put her in a position where she could get out there and make her own money doing her own thing, of course, with your guidance and tutelage and influence and control. These are things that a lot of men don't think about, because the majority of men think with sex first. And then when they find themselves in a situation where it didn't really pan out, it wasn't really worth it, and now they're sitting around looking stupid because they're like, man, all I'm getting out of this is sex. Well, guess what? That's all you was getting out of it in the beginning before you put the unworthy woman in the position. It's okay to put a woman in the proper position. But if you put a woman in an improper position, what you've done is elevated an unworthy woman to a level that she didn't deserve to be elevated to. And the issue with that is that it doesn't matter if she doesn't deserve to be elevated to that position. Once you put her in it, you got to go along and you got to treat her like she's in that position. And you got to respond and you got to behave like you have a woman in that position. And that's where men start to get into trouble and end up in a whole big mess. There are a few men whose women divorce them because of infidelity, like Tiger. There's no way Tiger wanted to be married to that chick, man, if he was out there knocking down that many chicks. You know what I'm saying? Even Kobe. When Kobe was out there in Colorado with that chick, man, all Kobe was trying to get, man, was the type of intimacy that he can't get from his wife no more. You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. to the homie Kobe. But these are situations that men put themselves in. As men, we need excitement. We need exciting lives. We need things that interest us. And if you get into a relationship with a woman, you have a tendency as a man to allow everything that she's interested in to become a part of your life. And that's a part of that jealousy that kicks in, where you don't want her to be involved in anything that you're not a part of because you don't want something to go down that you're not aware of. And I tell you like this, the more of her life you integrate into yours, the less of your life remains. So 10 years down the line, y'all break up and you don't have a life anymore, because all of your life was all of her life. Don't let sex push you into a scenario that you know you don't want to be in, because I promise you, the novelty of the sex will quickly wear off. And you will be in a situation where you have a woman around you in a position that you don't want her to be in. And you have two choices. You can make her life miserable, which will in turn make your life miserable, or you cannot make her life miserable, which in turn will make your life miserable. The moral of the story is, don't get caught up in a situation that you don't want to be in just for sex. It'll never pan out the way you want it to, and you will be a miserable man. Y'all comment down below and let me know what you think about this topic, man. I look forward to hearing what you men have to say. I'm out.